Hey YouTube, and welcome back to my channel. As Valentine's Day is next Tuesday, I thought that it was totally appropriate to finally do Italy versus USA dating. While I have dated extensively in the United States, I have never dated in Italy. So what I had to do was I had to talk to a lot of my friends, consult a lot of blogs and websites to see what it was like dating in Italy. And so I'm gonna kind of like reiterate my findings, and I mean, my findings are, they pretty much support what I thought anyways. So yeah, just a little disclaimer, I never dated in Italy, but I'm gonna try to talk about it anyways. The first main difference between dating in Italy and dating in USA is that in Italian there's not really a good word for boyfriend. When somebody's your boyfriend, you can call them, one, your ragazzo, which is literally just the meaning for boy. Two, you can call them your moroso, which is like, to me, kind of like lover. And then three, you can call them fidanzato. That's the most popular one, but that's also the same word for fiance. In America, we have like distinct levels. Either you're seeing each other, which doesn't mean that you're necessarily an item, doesn't necessarily mean you're going steady or you're dating. So that's just when you're testing out the waters, the guy's taking the girl out to the movies or dinner, they're meeting up for coffees, stuff like that, not too serious. Then you have your boyfriend, where you're an item, people know you as Tia and Enrico, and you're together. But there's still no like real commitment to the relationship. There's a commitment that you won't cheat on each other, but it's not a given that you guys are going to be married in a certain amount of time, right? So that's your boyfriend, and that's like the second level. Third level is fiancé, and fiancé is when you have a ring on your finger or some promise to be married in a certain amount of time. And then finally you have marriage, which is when you get married. But in Italy, yeah, it's kind of like you're either married, sposati, or you're not. Fidanzati, morosi, or ragazzi, I don't know, but there's not really these distinct levels. Somebody can be fidanzati without the ring on their finger, just kind of like boyfriend and girlfriend, and then immediately go into marriage. Like there's not really a time frame of fiancéism here. It's just not as linear as it is in the States. So that was the first thing that I actually noticed. And when I called Enrico my fidanzato in the Italy versus USA Christmas video, no, we're not getting married. He's just my boyfriend. In America, dating and testing the waters is really important. Like you can hear often girls and guys say to people that they don't want to get weighed down by having a real official relationship. They want to see as many guys as possible, and they want to see as many girls as possible, and it's very flexible. I'm talking about dating as in seeing each other, not dating, being boyfriend and girlfriend. Yeah, when I was in high school, we were really encouraged, even by like our parents and adults, to not get too serious, because you're young and you have to see everyone. Whereas in Italy, I feel like people are either in a very serious relationship or like super casual relationship. And most of the people that I know, even young people, are in serious relationships. Like they've been dating the guy or the girl for 2 or 3 years. Whereas in the States, that's something like you don't get into a serious relationship of like years unless you really know that you like somebody, and like you're already sure to have tested the waters. You're already sure that you dated enough people and got the dating out of your system, if that makes any sense. It can be a problem for the girl or the guy if somebody didn't date enough. Like if you're with a guy that hasn't dated many girls, it might seem like, well, could he cheat on me? Could I maybe not be enough? Is he gonna get bored with me? Like maybe one day he'll look at me and say, okay, this is the only girl I've ever been with, but what about? You know, so it can kind of create an insecurity in a relationship. Whereas if you've both dated a lot of people, the fact that you chose each other right now means that you really, really like each other. So that was another difference. This mentality in America doesn't really seem to exist here in Italy. 3, technology. In America, surprise, surprise, technology plays a huge role in relationships. Actually, my parents, my mom and my stepdad, met on a dating site, and they've been married for, I don't even remember how many years now. a lot. Whereas a lot of my friends and my contemporaries met their boyfriends and girlfriends through like hookup sites like Tinder and Grindr. Even though those apps and stuff might not necessarily be for finding committed relationships, a lot of my friends have found their significant others through those medias. And even like me and Enrico, a large part of the reason that we're together is because of Facebook and online messaging and all of that stuff. So technology plays a huge role in American relationships, whereas I don't see that quite in Italy. In Italy, apps like Tinder are pretty much solely for casual hookups. I mean, I don't know anybody that is in a serious relationship because they met on Tinder. Whereas in America, most of my friends are in relationships because of dating apps, if they aren't dating somebody that they met through like work or school. In Italy, it's pretty casual. You meet your boyfriend and girlfriend at work or school, or you go out with the same like social circles, but technology isn't really big here. I'm gonna leave an article that I read actually, or I saw scrolling through my newsfeed while I was planning this video, which was talking about how online dating just doesn't work in Italy. A lot of companies have tried to transplant their online dating sites into Italy, but it just doesn't work out because Italians just aren't really into online dating. I feel like relationships are taken a lot more seriously in Europe and Italy in general. This could be because of what I said before. I mean, in America, we're so into like testing the waters before we find the one. It's like a double-edged sword. We're so into like testing the waters and finding the one, but at the same time, like divorce is really common in America. So there's no real reason to rush into a serious relationship. And even when you are in a serious relationship, I don't know if you can always get a divorce. I would like my first marriage to be my only marriage, but I know that since divorce isn't like frowned upon, and since it's so common, like it's also pretty accepted in America that the person you get married to isn't necessarily the person that you're going to live the rest of your life with. And also, I've got to point out that I'm kind of speaking more for my generation because I know that the generation before me has very different ideas on dating. Yeah, so relationships in America aren't really taken that seriously because I think majority of your time as a young person will be testing the waters and being single. When I was in America for the most time, like in my 18 years, I had maybe 2 serious boyfriends, and Enrico is one of them. And all that other time I was dating and testing the waters. But whereas in Europe, like I said, most of my friends are in pretty serious relationships. You go from one serious relationship to the next serious relationship. It's not necessarily about, and they don't even try. They're not trying to test the waters and trying to meet people. I mean, there are some people that are like that. Hooking up and being in a relationship are 2 different things. And while in Italy, yeah, of course, there are guys and girls that might just want to hook up. But if we're talking about relationships, they fall into a serious one, they stay in the serious one, and maybe then after, if they break up, the next serious one. You can find people in Italy that date and live together for years. Like you could be dating for 10 years in Italy. That's how these things kind of work out. Whereas in America, it's a bit different. I think in America, after like, I don't know, it can range from a year to 3 years, you're pretty much going to get married. Of course, there are people that have been together for longer, but I think in general, I know people that are in my class that are married and they knew each other for less than me and Enrico knew each other, you know, and they're already married. Also, like, how they date is super different because, like I've said, Italians seem to be more old style and romantic. I don't know if they're being real or if they're faking it just to get foreign girls, but I'm under the impression that Italians are more romantic, so you're more likely to like go for a walk in an ancient place or go get a nice wine or an aperitivo, and it just seems so romantic. Whereas in America, everything is like fast. I don't know, my dates amounted to going to Panera Bread or for a sandwich or going to the movies or maybe hanging out at Starbucks. Those are dates in America, which, you know, are kind of different. So yeah, those were my impressions on the differences between dating in Italy and dating in USA. What do you guys think? Am I right? Am I wrong? Do you have any experience in dating in Italy or dating in USA? I want to know everything in the comments below. And as always, I hope you guys like this video, and I'll see you guys in my next one. Mwah.